The rain is coming, but I have to show you this. Paul just brought home our new solar panels. There's 2 of them there.
660 watt bifacial panels with a 30% gain.
Wow. But it's raining, so I'm going in, but we're excited.
Now this won't be all poking up, and we can lay these flat down on here and take this one, put it up there, scooch them all back, and then put these bifacial ones right up over the water and get full sun.
All right. These are the 2 new solar panels he just brought home.
These are coming off too.
Those are the ones he's gonna put on the back. In one of our previous videos, the back solar panel, because we did have 4, the back solar panel flew off during a gale storm. So he went and got these 2. And he's gonna put them on the back there. I just bailed all the water out of the dinghy and I spilled my coffee. But I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna get some milk so we can have all the coffee we want for today, so I can tell you guys all about our electric setup.
She wanted to go to a dance club with a boy. Her dad said no. She did it anyway. And she looked beautiful because she did makeup. Her dad said, "You look beautiful, now you can go." And she covered her zits.
All right, I just got back with the milk and I'm gonna load up the dinghy and go back to the boat so I can have another cup of coffee. Or so I thought. Paul realized he needed to grab a couple of aluminum tracks for the new solar panels, so the kids and I hung back for a bit, soaking up the sun while we waited. What do you think, boy? Waited. A few minutes later, here he comes, tracks balanced across his shoulders, driving the scooter all the way down to the boat dock, in classic Paul fashion. Since she's asleep, we're going to take this opportunity to tell you guys all about our electrical setup, our solar panels, and everything. So let's have Paul tell you more.
So you guys, we're going to talk about the solar panels, what kind of solar panels we had, what we have now, and where we're going to be in the near future with what we just got. So we have 3 400 watt JA solar panels. They are wired in a series to make 96 volts or something like that. It's like 90 something volts on average, and it brings in I think around peak we've got 23 amps, 22, 23 amps, but on average, no clouds in the sky, we're right there in the 19 amp ballpark. We had 4, and we had them wired up in parallel with 2 controllers, and now I have 3 on 1 controller, just kind of pushing the limit on the voltage side but not the amp side. And then we're going to wire up these 2 new bifacial panels that are 660 watts with a 25% gain right over the water on the back of our boat so we get the maximum bifacial real world gain. So we should be bringing in almost 2,200 watts at peak performance. So hopefully we get like 2,000 watts, like if that works out. So on a non-cloudy day. But it's supposed to be a lot better in cloudy conditions because of the bifacial. So we may end up charging earlier in the morning. It may beat out the 100 volt setup that I have wired up right now. Our batteries, we have 4 100 amp hour Bluetooth Ogrphy batteries at 51.2 volts. And they are actually amazing. They were like, we got them at around $600 a piece, but with shipping and everything, they were just a little like $720 or something like that. We got a pretty good deal on the 20 kilowatt 51.2 volt battery bank that we have. 400 amp hours of 51.2 volt batteries with our 60 amp fuses per battery.
All right.
In the past 30 days, we have brought in 506 kilowatt hours of power on those 3 panels right there. Wired up in series to create a really high voltage. But doing it in that way, we get like almost an hour extra in the morning and an hour extra in the evening of charging because the voltage is so high. Because to charge a 51 volt battery bank, you have to have really high voltage. It's not like a 12 volt system. It's a little bit harder. We average about 5 kilowatts a day from the 3 panels. Just, real world deal. 3 400 watt panels wired up to make 51 charge a 51 volt battery bank. We average about 5 kilowatts per day in Florida. We have a 10 kilowatt Thunderstruck Sailboat motor kit, which is actually like a 12 kilowatt motor, but it's like tuned down, and it actually puts about 5 amps, which we've only been up to, we were selling at like 6 knots, and we were getting a solid 5 amps of power straight back into our battery bank. So it charges pretty good. If we didn't have any solar input, we could go 80 miles in a day on like semi-calm conditions.
Yeah, we can go about 3 knots all day long, and at the end of the day still have a full battery if it's a good sunny day and calm conditions.
We power everything in the house using the 48-1200 Victron Phoenix power inverter, which puts out to like 2,000 watts for like, I think 30 or 60 seconds before it kicks off. So it'll handle like it has like a soft start basically because the way it's made. I don't know, but it'll run at 1,200 watts continuously with no problem. And we use that to mainly power our Medea 8K air conditioner. That's an inverter air conditioner, and it draws like, I want to say 9 amps on high, and it usually runs all night long on like just a little more than 1 amp off of each battery. So it's like 4 or 5 amps off of our battery bank all night long, and it don't really use much, and it keeps the boat like cool on low. So
with the setup that we have now, we're able to run a TV, a fan, our electric stove. We can charge our phones all day long, run the air conditioner like he said, and pretty much use any of the electric that you would use in a normal home throughout our day, and no issues, other than we don't have like a washer and a dryer or a dishwasher, so we don't have to worry about electricity for those, but it runs pretty much all of our needs throughout the day. Okay, so I have another question for you.
what's that?
Is the all-electric setup the future for boats?
Like, I think it might be. It seems like it wasn't that expensive for us. I think like $12,000. We did it.
We actually have a friend of ours who was just traveling to Green Cove to get hauled out where we just got hauled out at, and he blew up his engine on the way there. He's gonna be in the yard for the entire month, and we definitely feel bad for him, but we also feel grateful that we have this electric setup, and we just made that exact trip 2 times and never once had to get in the engine bay and work on things. The only thing Paul was doing excessively was like checking the power to see how much our battery was, and we would all take a guess to see how much battery we had left. But I was really happy that he didn't spend a lot of his time in the engine bay. Like most of the times that we traveled in the past, something would always end up happening with the engine. So I do love the electric setup for that reason alone.
Yeah, and it smells better.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's the airlock one.
Well, yeah. As of right now, we don't have a generator on board, and the only thing we buy gasoline for and diesel fuel would be the electric heater and the dinghy. And I don't mind the diesel so much, but the gas, you know.
We're wanting to get rid of the gas dinghy.
We have this extra 100 amp hour 51 volt battery, so we're kind of looking, and I don't want to get the Henkai thing off Amazon because I'd prefer not to have a fire behind my boat. But anyway, aside from that, I'm trying to find a good 48 volt trolling motor. So if you guys know of any, you know, thing like that that's dependable and strong enough, like a 5-6 horsepower outboard motor, that's really all we need. You know, like that's kind of where we're at. We're kind of looking at a couple things, but they're like, $1,200, but they're like a 20 horsepower or 15 horsepower Navy, I forget now. Anyway, but we are looking for some sort of electric outboard option so that we can use this other battery, and we can use the boost controller and use a little miniature bimini. So we really just need a smaller solar panel and an electric outboard motor, and we have
would be
no
fully
need
electric.
be fully electric other than our heater. Yeah, let us know if you got any suggestions on any kind of electric outboard experience that you got. We don't have to use that battery, but it would be nice to use it.
So we're going to be putting these other 2 solar panels on very soon, and we're going to be taking off on some crazy adventures, trying out this electric setup. So if you guys are interested in following that journey, we invite you to follow our channel. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video, a comment down below. Yeah, and we'll see you guys next week.
Dun, dun, dun.